What's up? It's Talib Kweli, and you tuned into the Eddie Kayne Show on WLVS.
It's your man Eddie Kayne, WLVS Radio Zone. 12-time award winner Eddie Kayne. You see who I'm sitting here with the king, Talib Kweli. How you doing today, brother?
Good. What's up, Eddie? How you feeling?
Man, I can't complain, man. I can't complain. I'm blessed. First of all, I just want to say I'm in lovely DC. You're in DC.
Yeah.
Being a New York native. Thank you for taking your time out, your busy schedule to talk to me. Because of the significance of yesterday, I have to start with this. Today, Biggie Small, yesterday we celebrated 20 years that we lost Big as a fellow MC and a fellow MC from Brooklyn. What's Biggie impact to you, and how did he influence your music?
Biggie is the symbolism of raw, unadulterated hip hop, because he's somebody who was just trying to make his way in his life, living with his, living with a single mom, hustling up and down the coast. His talent was unfiltered and it was raw and natural, and I don't think Biggie even understood how talented he was.
Right.
It took somebody like Puff to come along and be like, nah, you gotta do this, you gotta do this. So what Biggie represents to a lot of people is the idea that music and talent is destiny. It's something that's in you. You know what I'm saying? That it's got to come out no matter what. So even though Biggie, anybody who knows his story, at the beginning of his career, he really wasn't focused on his career.
Definitely.
But it was just so much in him, it drew him out.
Do you think that Big's being in the music world had a significant change him with the Pac situation, just the overall his life, his legacy?
Yeah, I spent time, I smoked a blunt with Big and Pac, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I was around. I was around for, when Pac was hanging out with Bad Boy in New York.
Right.
I was working for essentially working for Bad Boy.
Okay.
I was working for Puff. He was doing parties, little flyers, the tunnel, whatever, R&B Live. So I kicked it with Big and Pac, and I seen the rift when Pac got shot. And he started thinking, well, who's who?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I was around that crew, and Lil Sean's my man. You know what I'm saying? Like, Lil Sean was around all that time. So I seen it happen. I was a huge Tupac fan before a lot of people was in New York. I think it's a shame because those men ascended to the level of giants by the age of 25.
No question.
So imagine what they would be now.
Definitely. Epic in the game. Well, I think sometimes, man, in this situation, there's no winners, man. Like Pac, Big, both we lost epic and big influences on the music game. On Wednesday, we had the International Women's Day. There seems to be a reawakening on the war on women. So as someone who is managed by a woman, and you seem to have a role changing in America, what can we do as men to stand up for women's rights?
The first thing we can do is listen. A lot of men confuse and conflate women's rights with mother's rights, or they had a problem with a foul baby mama or something, so they think about their own personal experience and they be in their feelings.
Right.
But whatever we go through as men, women go through it threefold or fourfold or fivefold. Like the oppression and degradation we feel as men, we will never understand what women go through. So the first thing we got to do is actually listen to their voices, listen to their stories, and amplify their voices and stories, and not speak for them. Sometimes as men, we can feel like sometimes we could be like, God is queen.
Right.
But what if a woman doesn't, a queen is an imperialist.
Right.
A queen, what if a woman's like, nah, I'm a soldier, I'm not a queen.
Right.
Stop calling the woman what you think make her feel good. Listen to her first. And take her for who she says she is, rather than your sort of male-centric idea of what womanhood is.
Okay. As the son of an English professor and a university administrator and the brother of a law professor, how has your family influenced your activism?
Yeah, my family is like the professional version of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, I'm like, rapper out here in these streets yelling at people, and my brother is like working for Justice Stevens and helping the right policies, and my parents are teachers in the school system, so I'm like the black sheep of the family.
Wow.
But it's all academic. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Okay, we understand that you are in DC to strategize the removal and the resistance to Donald Trump. What knowledge have you collected thus far?
I've learned a lot about local DC organizations on the ground, people already doing the work. I've learned that boycotts work. I've learned different tactics and strategies to attack Capitol Hill. I've been a lot more informed about the intricacies of the Trump administration. But I've learned mostly that DC is a beautiful city.
Have you had a chance to meet any of the city council, any of the members?
No, but you know, for somebody like me, it's kind of easy for me to get in touch with those type of politicians when I'm ready to move.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like right now, we still formulating the agenda. When we ready to move, we have the plan. That's when we got to reach out to the city council people and the House of Representatives and the schools and everybody else.
How can you need boots on the ground, a lot of help? How can we as a people get involved with your resistance movement?
I would say just from the the organizations that I've met out here that are doing the work. Particularly One DC, particularly Movement for Black Lives.
Okay.
Black Lives Matter DC, of course. Mm-hmm. Those are the organizations that have come into my circle first.
Okay.
But there's all types, you know what I'm saying? And my organization is called Action and Support Committee. I want it to be like a hub or a networking hub for everybody.
Okay.
So the things I've learned, I'm going to write down, I'll put them at actionandsupport.com, and I'm going to put them on the Action and Support Instagram, and I'm going to put them in those places.
What's your thoughts on the stigma on Black Lives Matter?
That proves that white supremacy is dastardly, because the idea that you can say something as simple as Black Lives Matter,
right,
and this pushback to that shows how successful they've been at convincing people that Black lives don't matter.
Wow.
No one has said Black Lives Matter and yours don't.
Right.
No one has said only Black Lives Matter. Those are qualifiers that have been added on by people who are threatened by the very concept of black life having value.
So let me ask you about the people that get upset and say, hey, all lives matter.
Well, one, that's lazy, because if you cared about all lives, you wouldn't be mad at Black Lives Matter.
Okay.
Get your own damn slogan. You know what I'm saying? You wait for people to do the work, to speak up, and then you make it about yourself. If someone says Black Lives Matter and you ain't black and you feel like the only way to respect that humanity is if it includes you,
right,
you don't really respect that humanity. If you're not able to, as a white person or a person of Asian descent or like whatever you want to say Black Lives Matter, if I need to include you by saying all lives matter before you recognize my humanity,
right,
then you really ain't recognizing my humanity. You really make it about your feelings.
Okay.
You feel left out. And too often people in this world feel like they can't cape for something. They can't stand up for something that don't directly represent them.
Your Ferguson is everywhere, man. I'm at like concerts with Common, Bun B, Pharoah Monch, Dead Prez, and many more others. What was the most incredible statement through your music?
Well, Ferguson is everywhere situation. The most incredible thing we did was raise awareness, raise money. Rest in peace, Mike Brown. Shout out to the Brown family. To show that community that we cared, to stand in solidarity with that community. It was really about uplifting that community. Shout out to Tori Russell. Shout out to Tef Poe. Shout out to Kayla Reed and all them sisters on the ground that was doing work with Organization for Black Struggle. Those activists and those students and those working class people in Ferguson, they set the tone. They really set it off for us, you know what I'm saying?
Do you plan on using your music series as a piece of the resistance movement to Donald Trump? And do you plan on continuing that concert series?
Well, shout out to YG, because he really set it off.
Salute YG.
Yeah, salute YG. Music, I do revolutionary music or resistance music, whether Trump exists or not. So I definitely plan on continuing to do that.
When our viewers heard, man, we were interviewing the great Talib Kweli. We got an overwhelming response of questions that they wanted to ask. And here are
When's the next Black Star album? I don't know.
You must have known, man. The most popular question
What's the next one?
When are you going to make some more music with your man, Most Def, known as Yasin?
Yeah, I don't know. We was just here in D.C. at the Kennedy Center.
Oh, y'all did?
Yeah, we
y'all
did.
was just doing the show?
3 days. It was really the Most Def show, the Yasin Bey show, but I was a special guest.
So are you guys going to do, the people want to know now, y'all going to do any more records together?
Maybe.
Okay. How do you feel about the current state of hip-hop, man, the mumble rap?
I don't got a problem with it. Great songwriting is great songwriting.
Right.
You don't need to have great lyrics, or any lyrics at all, to have a great songwriting. I was watching Doctor Strange, and he made a good point. Chuck Mangione made a hit with a flugelhorn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm with you.
Everybody know that.
Exactly.
Everybody know Barbra Streisand. Barbra Streisand. That is a great song. I don't care what music you listen to.
That is
right.
Crazy.
That's a good song, right? All they said was Barbra Streisand. That's a good song.
How do you get the young people to resonate with your music of the day?
I don't know if I do. I try to pay attention to the trends but not follow them. And I respect new forms of music, new ideas, new ways to express it. The young people who grew up in hip hop, like Lil Yachty, right? Mm-hmm. He got hair I haven't seen since Crisscross. I would never do that to my hair. But I didn't grow up how he grew up or where he grew up or what his influences.
Right.
I grew up with a whole different set of influences. Right. So who am I to clown or judge what I don't know?
I really respect
that. Who am I to do that?
I tell people that all the time, brother. Like, you can't judge new hip hop because if we all rap how hip hop started, we be rapping like the Sugar Hill Gang or Eva.
Right. It's got to evolve. It's got to grow. And you know what? You don't have to like it. That's the part that people don't get.
Right.
It's got to evolve, but it don't got to evolve for you. Like, I grew up in New York, listening to boom bap hip hop. Lil Yachty is from Atlanta, right?
Right.
And how old is he?
Probably about 19, 20.
So his OG is Soulja Boy. Think about that.
That's
the
crazy.
old school music to him that he looking back in the days. Soulja Boy was killing. When I think back in the days, I think Nas, Wu-Tang, Mobb Deep, they was killing it.
Definitely.
His perspective, Soulja Boy was killing it.
Definitely. That's real. That's real.
So why would I expect him to rap like me? He would be corny if he did that. He got to do him.
But how about artists that do try to rap like that? Older artists that came out back in the day and now they're trying to actually emulate the young.
They just lost, but it's very seductive. It is. It's hard to know. It's hard to understand that. It's hard to be honest as an artist because especially this industry, especially for weaker-minded artists, will make you think that you have to be trendy or you're not going to be seen. I will say that the millennial generation with the internet, taking power away from the music business, has helped that. So we could complain all we want about mumble rap, but fact is, ain't none of them selling like J. Cole. J. Cole outselling all of them.
Definitely.
And J. Cole mentioned me on all his damn singles.
Hey, salute J. Cole.
So salute J. Cole because ain't none of them doing as well as Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? Because they've with this newer generation, yeah, they go turn up to Lil Uzi Vert and Yachty, but they also buying that Kendrick and J. Cole.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So they also they have it's like the kids who grew up. They OGs is Kanye and Drake.
Right.
So they don't have one way. They could be sensitive and soft, or they could be hard, or they could they could do a Party Next Door or The Weeknd, or they could do Migos.
No
question. They could go different directions with it, and God bless them for it.
Where do you see the state of Black America going in the next 10 years after so many senseless killings that keep happening to our young people, man?
Well, that ain't nothing new. It's just we have the technology that allows us to be able to use to have the information as a tool. So when you look at the Vietnam War and the Civil Rights Movement, the reason why those things started to have resistance is because on the nightly news on television, you would see bodies coming in with the coffins with the flags over them. You see people get bit by dogs and beat by police and sprayed with hose just for standing there.
Right.
Just for exercising their very basic American right, the most American thing you could do, the most patriotic thing you could do. Not that I'm a fan of patriotism, but the most patriotic thing you could do is protest.
No question.
Is hold your government accountable. And when people see the imagery, the ugliness, that's where people move. They were able to shut that down. By the time we got to the Iraq War, we have smart bombs and we don't see nobody dying. So it's abstract, but now that we have cell phones, the rise of the camera phone allowed us to see Philando Castile, allowed us to see Mike Brown's body for six hours, allowed us to see, it wasn't a camera phone, but it was the police, with the cameras, we could see the cop come up and straight cold murder Trayvon. You know what I'm saying? Like, so us having access to the information is a game changer.
Speaking of that social media, it's been a demise for us too, bro. Like, we got people killing each other on social media. Like, a lot of cats down.
I've seen that. It's a Facebook Live. But I don't think that people are dying more. Just now we have Facebook Live.
And everybody
now we can see it. So it's not that. It's not. It's just the information. Like, look, when you watch TV now, you as a little kid, the things that our children are going to have access to, they have access to far, for better or for worse.
Right.
They have access to far more information. They're going to see sex quicker. They're going to hear curses faster. They're going to be dealing with high-minded concepts way faster than I did when I was a kid. And if we as older people don't keep up with the flow of information, we'll just be like, get off our lawn. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to pay attention to the information, how much the information age, how much information these children are really getting, and help them navigate from our parents' generation was hide and protect. Now I think it has to be you have to expose people to information so they can make informed decisions.
Look into the camera and speak to the brothers of Chicago. What would you say to them?
I would say, what up, Chi-Town? Y'all show me a lot of love. You know what I'm saying? People be talking about y'all the murder capital, and people in Chicago, people use Chicago for political agenda. People use, white supremacists use Chicago in particular, conservative right wing, you try to demonize the people of Chicago to push a pro-gun agenda, to push pro-police agenda, to push pro-prison agenda. Chicago, y'all know better, and y'all don't fall for it, which is why I stand with Chicago.
Hey, man, that's deep. And lastly, outside of the resistance movement and removing Trump from office, which we hoping he gets impeached, what are some of the ways Americans can come together and find common ground?
I might not be the right person you want to ask that question, you know, because I enjoy finding common ground with people who, you know, who are already on the level with me. Like it's not as easy for me to speak to politically in this country. It's not, even though I'm trying to find efficient ways where I can, it's been difficult for me to speak to, in the Trump era, it's been difficult for me to speak to conservatives, because I think the way that John McCain ran, George Bush, Mitt Romney, like I remember when McCain was doing a town hall meeting, they was like, Obama's from Libya, and McCain, and this might have cost him the election.
Definitely.
By him saying, hold on, you can't do that. I don't agree with John McCain on a myriad of issues. But as a politician, he respected the process of politics. And so I feel like in that era of when Obama was running against McCain, and as evil as George Bush was, and hindsight is 2020, because I wouldn't have been able to tell you this when it was happening.
Right.
But now when we have somebody who's objectively worse, the hindsight is like, okay, I'm having problems having conversations with conservatives and right-wing people, because if you can see that man say Mexicans are rapists, if you can see that man try to immediately roll out a travel ban and put up a wall, if you can see him say, I grab pussy and I get away with it because I'm a star and that's okay, and you still like, yeah, but Obamacare, yeah, but Hillary's emails, then you're being willfully ignorant. And it's hard for me to have a conversation with willful ignorance. If you don't know no better, I can talk to you because I'm going to bring the facts.
Right.
But if you already got the facts and the facts don't matter, then it becomes, I can't have a conversation if facts don't matter. If you're willing to watch Breitbart, if you're willing to watch InfoWars, and then you think you're about to have a conversation with me, nah, bro, I can't do it.
I see a lot of Republicans defecting. They're leaving Trump in large numbers. What you say about that? And how do we get young African Americans inspired to want to know what's going on?
I mean, to the Republicans who are leaving, sucks to be them. I don't really care about them because they knew what they were getting into. Trump didn't become this overnight. He showed his hand. A year ago, he kicked a Univision reporter out of on some real fascist like nonsense. He'd been doing this. He started his campaign saying Mexicans is rapists. He ended up by saying Mexicans is bad hombres. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a mystery. So you just, it's willful ignorance. That's why I even get upset even thinking about that.
Definitely.
But you know, I like what the young people said to say today about political education. That's where I come from, the PE, the political education background. And understand that when it comes to that politic, it starts with community. There's not a lot of politicians I respect. Ras Baraka up in Newark, the mayor of Newark, somebody I respect, because he's Amiri Baraka's son. I went to Cuba with him. He's on Lauryn Hill's album, and the interludes we hear the dude talking, that's Ras Baraka. I know he's a community activist. He's a poet. He wrote a book with Kevin Powell called In the Tradition about the spoken word. Like, he's fully on the level, and he's the mayor of Newark. That's an anomaly. That's the exception that proved the rule. But if we can raise more grassroots politicians in that manner, then we can really affect change.
In closing, why can't we get persons like yourself to run for office? That's what we need.
Because you got Ras Baraka. You don't need me. You don't need me. You got Ras Baraka. You got people because I'm an artist. So the job of politics is to campaign and to lie. You know, because you're gonna spend your time campaigning. You get in office, you got to start immediately. Trump has already set up Trump 2020. As soon as you get in the office, you got to focus on your next campaign. So you got to focus on campaign promises and whether or not I'm gonna break them and this and that. I have way more freedom as an artist, as an activist, than I do as a politician. That's not to say we don't need politicians. I respect Barack Obama. I respect Cory Booker. Even though Cory Booker, the dude I'm talking about, Ras Baraka, him and Cory Booker used to be the mayor of Newark. He ran against Ras Baraka.
Right.
Ras Baraka the homie. Cory Booker the homie.
Right.
I aligned politically more with Ras Baraka.
Okay.
But when Cory Booker won, he did a lot of good work. I like what Cory Booker did. Ras is more radical.
Right.
more left, more progressive.
Left-wing.
Corey's more moderate.
Right.
But Corey did a good work with his marijuana thing. With is it Orrin Hatch that he been getting with? Corey does good work because Corey's thing is I'm gonna get in the system and work. And I show solid. We need people like Cory Booker. We need Ras Baraka. But you need me so I could just be me. You need YG to be able to say fuck Donald Trump too.
The cannabis. In closing, once again, the cannabis. They're talking about outlawing. A lot of people are now making a lot of revenue. It's helping a lot of jobs. How do we combat them stopping this whole cannabis movement?
Come to the National Cannabis Festival. I'll be performing on April 22nd in DC.
What's the date again, brother?
April 22nd in DC.
Okay.
To all you Trump supporters who are conservative, millennial, Republicans, I know you smoke weed. I know you smoke weed. You know you fucked up, right? I mean, you know you fucked up, right? Because
goodness.
they're coming for your weed, bro. The government is coming for your weed. Now, I know you don't care about Native Americans. I know you don't care about people who have vaginas. I know you don't care about Mexicans. I know you don't care about black people. You know, when the CIA is infiltrating the black community, you cheering for them. When they infiltrated Donald Trump, you mad at the CIA. I see what's going on. I know you care about your pot plants over human life. This is where we can find common ground. They coming for your pot plants, bro. Get down with us.
Tell the people where they can find you at, bro.
TalibKweli.com, QualiClub.com. That's where I sell my wares, my music. My bookstore, Nkiru Books, is on QualiClub.com. Come buy a book. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram. I ain't on Facebook. I am on Facebook, but just go there for the show information. I don't really be on Facebook.
Hey, stay woke, man. I'm in here with my dude, Talib Kweli. Only on the Eddie Kayne Show, WLVS Radio, listenvisionlive.com, the new radio that you can watch.
Yeah, that's my man, Asheru.
Yeah.